Hello Varun, welcome to Volt Exchange. Volt Exchange is a platform which enables interaction between industry leaders like you and the new crop, students, new companies which are trying to enter into this industry. And when I say that industry leaders like you are the first company which started an OSAT in this country, and now it seems like there is a flood, right? The number of announcements that are happening. So how do you see all this, both in terms of the opportunity and in terms of the first player? How do you see this whole excitement?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me here. My name is Varun Manwani. I'm the Managing Director of Sahasra Semiconductors Private Limited. Yes, very proud about the fact that we were the very first company that got into this. I'm really happy that there's so much of hype today around this entire industry. When we incorporated back in 2020, obviously the entire media was around, the pandemic, not Semicon. But I think I'm happy that things have progressed for India as a country and also for the Semicon industry. So basically, I would say this is really exciting, given the fact that back in 2020 when we incorporated the company and the entire journey that we had over a 3-year period to get into our trial production in 2023, we faced tremendous amount of challenges. Because at that point of time, there was no supply chain, no materials, no manpower, nothing available. I mean, no exhibition around. So while a lot of people, sometimes approach us and tell us that, now must be really difficult, there is so much of competition. And I say, no, this is amazing. This is really welcome. Because what has happened is that the entire supply chain is coming in. The entire ecosystem is coming in. From all points of view, the equipment suppliers, material suppliers, customer pull, Modi ji, Government of India, ISM are doing such a wonderful job to get India on the semiconductor map. SEMI, which is the main body behind this entire show, has been doing these Semicon exhibitions in Korea, Taiwan, China, Japan, the US, Europe. The fact that India is part of that semi-exhibition map, right? So this is such a proud moment for the country. So I would say this is exciting times.
Great. I think a lot of people would understand what does it mean to have an ecosystem, especially in a deep tech field like this. How has been the evolution of Sahasra since you started? And also just give us a little bit of background. What is it that you exactly do for a lot of people who are listening this for the first time? And how has the evolution, as you mentioned that you have a pilot line that has come up, pilot product that has come up. Just tell us the evolution and what are the plans for the next, say, 5 years?
So in terms of evolution, yes, because we're one of the very first people. And also given the fact that we are one of the companies that we are without any technology partner as of today. So I would say we are very proud about that whatever learning we've had ourselves. And therefore, we've gone through our own challenges and struggles. And over this entire journey, and we get into mass production now in November. So the fact that we have, gone through that entire cycle over the last 12 months of doing our trials, validations, etc., and now getting into mass production, it has given us a lot of learning on how this industry works and what are the nuances of the industry. Additionally speaking, the entire, let's say a tectonic shift that's happening in the semicon world, especially with the China and US trade wars, India coming on the map, all of this is helping us a lot. So we had decided initially that we being a player in the memory segment, because our sister companies are manufacturing memory modules, SSDs and other memory products. So we had initially decided to get into the, backward integrate and get into memory packaging. And so the very first solution that we came out with was the micro SD card. Having come thus far over the last 12 months, we are now ready to go to the next stage of phase 2, that we are going to start looking at eMMC, LPDDR and eMCP packages. Now these are more advanced packaging packages, and we are already in discussions with customers to tie up the business. So we have a consultant which is coming on board very shortly, and also customers who are going to sign up with us very shortly. And Sahasra will make the announcement at the right point of time. So not only in the memory space, but also two other packages that we decided, the LED driver IC, which is a 8-pin SOP package, and our QF and DFN packages, where we have started with a 2-pin device for the RFID industry and a 8-pin device for the SIM industry, right? The SIM cards that we used. So we are progressing slowly, and I think while there is a lot of pressure to perform quick, but I think we are very much on track. If you look at the best of OSATs or best of players in the semicon industry, this is very, very capital intensive. This is very technology intensive. And so there is an entire journey that one has to go through. And so while we are going through that journey, we cannot rush through it, because semiconductor is absolutely cutting edge technology. So you have to make sure that you stabilize your process, you stabilize your operations, and then you start to scale up. So I think from our perspective, we are absolutely on track.
How to solve the manpower skilling trend? Have you solved it?
So it's not fully solved. That's something which we are working on. I think it'll be a continuous work in progress. We have tied up with a couple of educational institutions, or you can say academic institutions. We have been doing a lot of self-training internally with the manpower that we have. And perhaps I can make the announcement here that we have a couple of expats that are going to join us next month, and they will be bringing in a lot of process know-how and process knowledge. Other than that, I think the supply chain has been very, very helpful to us. Not only equipment training, but also helping us understand the process to a large extent. So this all has contributed. And then, let's not forget the Indian engineers or Indian manpower is extremely talented, right? Across the semicon world, 20 to 22% of the manpower is all Indian. So that just goes to show that, our ability to learn and to be able to deploy that knowledge is far beyond many others. So as I said, it's something which is a work in progress. And as we scale up, I'm sure we will be able to attract more people towards us because everybody wants to be a part of this growth. And we'll be happy and most welcome for people to come in and work together with us.
Sure. So you talked about supply chain and you also talked about talent. Then apart from these, what is the biggest roadblock for you? And for tentatively for other OSATs which are coming to India, what do you see potentially the biggest roadblock, both from the government, policy, industry, skill point of view, or infra point of view?
Right. So there are two things that I think are concerning. See, one is that the semicon industry was already present in the world, right? It's not that India has really evolved something or innovated something. So you have to look at how do you convince the potential customers to work with you rather than someone else. And for that reason, how we try to solve our puzzle is that come in with some legacy packages, initially work as an ATMP, that we bring in a couple of packages such as the LED driver IC, the micro SD package, so that we learn all the nuances of the game, and we set up everything at our end. Then the potential customers will have a lot of confidence in us. So that's one. Second is, as has been spoken out in many places, that it took about 75 years for the semicon industry to reach about $500 billion. And over the next 6 to 7 years, we're looking at it doubling to 1 trillion. Now, yes, I think it's no hidden knowledge that the last several quarters or even 18 months has been a slightly downward trend for the semicon industry, but it is bound to bounce back. With the proliferation of electronics in every walk of life, there will definitely be a huge growth and demand in semiconductors. So the addition of facilities, both in fabs and in terms of OSAT, will be able to benefit for them. And today, for India and for OSAT, all the stars are aligned. Policy, entrepreneurial spirit, overseas markets looking at us as a potential. So things are working right. And so these are the two concerns. My advice to others would be that like any industry which is a sunrise industry, tons of people want to get into it. And everybody doesn't survive, right? So you fall by the side. My only word of caution to everyone would be this is extremely capital intensive. So please come up with rock solid plans, or the failure or the losses here will be humongous. It's not like real estate that, okay, you decide to build a building and eventually somebody will live in the building. If you do not set up your infrastructure and your business plan is not in place, survivability will be a very, very big question.
Winner takes all is a very semiconductor thing, right?
Exactly.
Yes. Okay, so the last question. What would your message be for Indian people who are living overseas and they are looking at India opportunity, right? These are the professionals I'm talking about. And also the companies which are looking at India, and with India, there is always this question of when, right? Because the speed at which things move, at least in past, has always been under question. What would your message be for both the talent as well as the companies which are looking to invest in India?
Please, please, please come to India, right? This is so. Over the last couple of days, there's been so much of talk that's been happening. So the government announced ISM2. The government would not have announced ISM2 if ISM1 was not oversubscribed. It's oversubscribed. So that just shows the intensity with which the government and the entrepreneurs of India are, looking to grab these, subsidies and schemes. I think, as I said, that 20 to 22% of the talent worldwide in semicon is Indian, and they're all overseas. Why? Because India never had the opportunities. We missed the bus in the early 2000s. We missed the bus in the 2013, 2014 era. Now I don't think we can say we missed the bus. Very clearly, this exhibition speaks about itself. The commitment that it's been made by 12 to 13 companies. We have constructed the building, the clean room, money has been spent. That's all commitment. Now I think it's time for the Indian diaspora to come back and commit from their side. You get the benefit of being in the semicon industry and coming back to your own land. As far as companies go, India will offer you a mix of the best talent, labor cost arbitrage, and futuristic development. Because one of the key aspects which I've not spoken about so far is the Indian design houses have been designing for overseas companies, but tape outs and packaging happening elsewhere. So this is an opportunity where the design happens here, the fabulous design houses. The packaging also happens here, and probably in the next 3, 4, 5 years, the fab or the tape out happens here, thanks to the Tatas, thanks to the Adanis, and how many more large business houses come here. So again, it's please, please, please come here. This is the opportunity place. This is the place how things will shape up in the future. I would say India is such a large country. There is today space for multiple companies to participate as long as you are serious about this business, as long as you have a serious business plan. There are tremendous amount of opportunities, not only for export, but also opportunities within the country. India is growing rapidly in terms of a market, consumer market, industrial market. And so that brings a lot of opportunities for products to be designed within India, ships to be designed within India, consumed within India. And especially the consumer space is high volume requirements, which means high volume chip manufacturing. So the ingredients are absolutely right for the best dish to be served.
For bright times ahead.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you for your time, Varun.
Thank you very much.
Talking
Nice
to you.
to you.